Megatron with the staff. Wait, where's Barricade? I can't fly!
What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series Deluxe class, The Last Night Barricade. But before we get into the figure itself, we've got to take a look at the packaging, which I hope this is in frame. Anyway, gotta look at Barricade's car, the police car right there, the Mustang. Gotta look at Barricade there at the top, says Transformers Last Night at the bottom, yada yada, nothing too crazy. That same Barricade image kind of transfers over. And then on the side, you got another look at Barricade there. And then on the back, you got a little screenshot from the movie of Barricade right there. Got a picture of the figure and everything, and the necessary licensing logos and shiz and whatnot. And yeah, I'm so excited to get into this figure and review him and paint him up and take a closer look. So now that we've taken a look at the packaging, let's take a look at Barricade himself and just go over some of these small little details first before we actually get started to working on him. Anyway, so let's take a look at Barricade really quickly before we paint him up, because I am really eager to actually get to working on him, because I do actually have Toy Hacks labels that I will be putting on him to make the painting process easier, which will be my first time doing Toy Hacks labels. And I got a couple other labels for other figures and stuff too as well to experiment with. But first off, he looks pretty nice. He mainly is just this one solid color of blue. He does have some other colors and such and everything, but he is mainly this navy blue. He's got some nice taillight detail in the back. He's got a lot of really nicely sculpted detail in general. He does have some pretty decently flat-looking legs, though, which does kind of suck, but overall, he is a much better-looking representation than the original Deluxe was. It does look quite nice. Although he is a bit bland as far as the colors go, so I do kind of want to paint him up. I just wanted to show off what he looked like before I paint him up, because he is a bit, a bit bland. He does have some like handcuffs there on his crotch, which is pretty interesting. Overall, he's one of my favorite designs. He just desperately needs some paint, but he does look pretty cool. There's a little bit of the head sculpt there, just to take a look at that head sculpt real quick. But yeah, overall, pretty nice. Nothing too crazy going on. I do like how the light bar in the back does split open like that, which is pretty cool. But anyway, I am tired of seeing him looking this bland, so let's just go ahead and give him a fresh new paint job. And there he is, all painted up and looking so much better. And of course, I did cut my fingernails. I know I get some comments about that sometimes, but painting this figure was kind of a bit of a pain, because I wanted to give him that metallic blue. But in some spots, the metallic blue kind of dulled down a little bit and became a little less metallic and just more so just blue, a different shade of blue. But you can still kind of tell some of the metallicness with it. Probably a little hard to catch on camera here. I know that pretty much like my entire like screen right now is in dark mode for some weird reason, but I hope it comes through. But I do just want to go over things I painted and things I did and everything. I did use Toy Hacks labels for the first time. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I fucking hate Toy Hacks labels, dude.
I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
They just don't stick good at all, and I was having a really hard time with the arm sections where it says police on there. With some of these stickers, I literally had to coat them with a gloss finish first, just that way they would stick and stay down. I did not think I was going to be having this much trouble with stickers. Now, I didn't just paint him and sticker him up. I also did some slight modding, just to kind of make the transformation process a little bit more better and faster, and while also at the same time making it so that way paint does not rub. So, let's get a closer look. So, now you can kind of tell that the paint is a little bit more metallic, or I guess you could probably tell a little bit. I had a really fun time painting this one a little bit, actually. It is hard to get reference photos to make sure that this was accurate, but I think it is pretty accurate as I could possibly get them. So you can kind of tell I used a little bit of a metallic flake paint for the blue sections, or maybe you can't really tell. It's a little hard to tell on camera. It's like a very slight metallic blue. Some areas show a little bit better than others, but I tried to get it as metallic as I possibly could. So you can kind of tell there. I'll go over more of the stickers, like the sticker detailing for the car mode in vehicle mode when we get to it, but I will go over some of these stickers. Now, I didn't use all of them because majority of the stuff that the stickers were for, I could just paint them and, which I did. So that's what I just did for some of those sections. But as you can see right here, I did use the nickel duster stickers if it wants to pick up. I know it's like really hard to see, but you can kind of see it. That's as best as it's gonna be. But I also use the police shoulder stickers there because he was missing that on his shoulders, and these were a pain to apply. Now, again, I had to use a cover coat thingy for them to make sure they just stick and stay there. There's a couple other stickers that were like for the arms and everything, but I just painted those. Just made more sense to do that. As far as I know, this is extremely accurate now, paint job wise. It is just really hard to find reference photos for TLK barricade because a lot of them is just concept art, and I like to base my Transformers customs right off the screen, so it was a bit of a pain. But as you can see, I did paint all the gray parts in silver that I needed to, and then of course the arms and everything. Just making sure that those were all accurate and painted up quite nicely. And then the backs of the legs too as well. Took a little bit of liberties with the back of the legs. It was just difficult to find good photos or even concept art to go with that. And then as you can tell with the front chest here, did the little white sections there for the lights and just the lights pretty much. But yeah, I do also wanted to pick out the detail too of the handcuffs, which were a very cool thing to pick out there. But yeah, nonetheless, here's also the head sculpt. As you can see, I did my usual thing that I do now with Transformers stuff is I paint the little white dot to kind of symbolize the eyes being lit up, which came out really well on this one. Quite nice. And then the little stickers there on the sides of the head, you can kind of see them. They're there. And then obviously on the front of the hood, I have those stickers there for the grill bits and everything. I kept it pretty faithful, at least I think so. But yeah, came out pretty well. And of course, the back and everything. There's really nothing a whole lot different in terms of the paint job, just more so, a lot with the legs and everything, with the gold bits and silver and the blues and everything. I did want to mention though, when I do the transformation, that I will show off the kind of bit that I did do a little bit of modding. But all in all, that is pretty much it for the details and his fresh new paint job. So now that we've taken a look at the details, let's take a look at his accessories. So, in terms of accessories, he comes with a pretty decent amount. He does come with these two guns here, so he has this kind of interesting looking gun. He never really used this. It's just for aesthetic, I guess. He also does come with this like revolver-looking pistol thing, which is pretty cool. But again, it's probably just for aesthetics because he never really used this. But they're here. I didn't paint these. I didn't really know what to paint them, and to be honest, they're not really seen much. So I might just apply a wash down the line on these. If I had the free time. But for now, I just really didn't do anything with them, just because. But yeah, so there he is with his little, well, he has his guns. And I'll put these off to the side because they will store, but I'll show everything and how it stores pretty soon. Next up is his stun gun thing, which again, he didn't use, but he is clearly shown with it. I did paint this up. I kept the normal colors of, the black, but I just did a bit of a dry brush on it, if I can kind of show it here a little bit. There we go. I did a little bit of a dry brush on it, if you can kind of see it. And I did some of the gold and the little light blue bits and everything there. Pretty cool. Nice little piece. But yeah, that's his stun gun. And then his final accessory it comes with is his Gatling gun shotgun thingy doos. Now they were just regular gray plastic, but I applied a silver on top and did a black wash to pick out all those little mechanical bits. And honestly, it came out really, really well. I'm actually like how this came out. Now you're probably asking, how does these go? How do these go on the figure? So bringing a barricade here, lifting his arms out. Well, I guess I'll just show this first. So moving some of these bits out of the way. If you take these handles here, you can see that they are cut, with the ports, the usual standard universal ports that Transformers always use. You can just put them right in his hand. Now, these hands are painted, so it's probably a bit difficult to actually get them in, but they do go in his hand. I'm going to try and get it in his hand. That wants to fit. Actually, does this one even fit? I think the pig might be a little bit too big. I never actually put these in the hands yet when I got it, so probably why. Okay, it's not going to fit into his hand, but for post-test and everything, I will make them fit. But of course, with this one too, okay, it looks like this one's not going to fit either. Believe me, they should go in the hands. I didn't paint the inside of the hands. I never do that, but I will find a way to make these fit somehow, some way. But they do have these little tabs on the side. And if you take a look at the side of his leg, I'll lift his arm up, there are little kind of slot sections. So all you really do is just plug it into those slot sections, and it just kind of hangs on his hip there, kind of like a cop. So you just do that for the other gun on the same side, and then there you go. And there he has those on his hip. Now he doesn't have his baton thing, which I don't even remember seeing in the movie. I know the old Barricade figure, which I still have, had the baton thing, but I never saw it in the movie, so I'm not mad that it's not here. As for this, you got the little tab section right there, and what that's going to do is that is going to peg onto this arm specifically. So it is a specific accessory points, and it just pegs on right there. So there you have his kind of little taser thing going on. And then, as you can tell on this side, he doesn't have that tab section, so it's very specific to that arm. Same thing with the Gatling shotgun thingy. Basically, you just lift this up. There's a tab section underneath right there, which you can take one of the halves and just simply peg it on in, like so. And then same thing for this one, this side. Peg section on the top, and then just slap it right on, and it will peg into each other. Give it a nice little squeeze, and there you have his kind of Gatling shotgun thing going on. And that is amazing. I love the amount of accessories that this thing came with, and he just looks so damn good with them on. Now that we've gone over accessories, let's take a look at his articulation. So, getting into the articulation, I'm keeping his accessories on just because it just makes it easy. So, what I'm going to do here is basically he has a ball jointed head. So, you can go side to side like so. You can go a full 360 if you wanted to, but it is going to be kind of hard, and I'm not going to scratch all this paint that I just did. But you definitely can, but most of the range is going to be, about like this. He can look up a little bit, but nothing crazy. Can look down, actually not at all. So he can't even look down. But as for the arms, they do go a full 360. They go out about that far. And then they do have a little bit of kind of like a wiggle room thing going on because they are on ball joints. The elbow is ball jointed and it does sit a bit weird in the back. It is a bit strange, but that's just how he's built. He built different. He built different. But you do have a ball joint, so you can kind of get some bicep rotation with that ball joint as well. And it is, ball jointy. You do have the Gatling gun and everything. Nothing for the wrists and whatnot, so those are completely just immovable. You do have a bit of a waist joint situation too going on. So he does have a waist joint. And then the legs can kick up about that far. And then they kick back about pretty much almost all the way. And then as far as the kick out, he can kick out pretty much about that far. You do have like a kind of upper like knee thigh swivel thing going on. Can bend his knee pretty much about 90 degrees or a little over. And then as far as the actual foot goes, you can actually lift the foot up a lot by the shin, but that's mainly for transformation. And then, of course, there is some ankle kind of tiltage and swivel because it is on a ball joint. But you can also tilt the actual ankle bit, which is pretty cool. So he has a decent amount of articulation, all things considered. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for his articulation. Would be nice if he had some other articulation points. Definitely would have been nice if the arms could be a little bit more articulated, but he's a deluxe figure, so I'm not really going to complain too much. And honestly, this is the best TLK barricade on the market right now, so I can't really complain much. Plus, I do love this design. Even though I think 07 is better, I still love this design. Now that we've taken a look at the accessories and the articulation, let's take a look at the robot mode scale. So, bringing in Barricade here, we're just going to pair him up next to a handful of different, you know, characters to scale him with. So, first off, I do want to start out from the smallest. So, starting out with, of course, here he is next to Mohawk, which was the first of the last night Decepticons to get added into Studio Series. So there he is next to Mohawk. Very, very, very small figure, but glad it got made. And then next up, we'll start with his '07 Studio Series figure, which I think honestly needs an update, just because this is quite old at this point. But if you were to ask me which version do I prefer, I mean, well, figure wise, I kind of prefer the new one just a little bit, but I still do like the '07 Barricade here. I just think this Barricade figure just could use some upgrades. Now, if you're asking me which Barricade design is my favorite, leaving the whole toy aspect aside and out of it, I absolutely do love the '07 design a whole hell of a lot more than the Last Night design. But all in all, I love both of these designs. But there he is next to the '07 Deluxe Barricade there. And then next up, here he is next to the only Last Night Bumblebee, which kind of sucks because this desperately needs an update, like really, really, really bad, because this figure is just, it's dated, it's outdated so horribly. But yeah, there is Bumblebee there. But yeah, there's Bumblebee. So taking Bumblebee out, well, here he is next to Hot Rod, which for some reason he was French, but there he is next to the Last Night Studio Series Hot Rod. I feel like the scaling's, pretty fair between these figures. And then here he is next to the Studio Series Last Night Crosshairs, which is also not finished yet. I have a lot of figures that I still need to finish customizing, um, specifically Transformers, but there he is next to Crosshairs, and that might be a pretty fair size comparison there. And then next up, just because I just wanted to see them together, and now I know you guys are probably gonna really laugh at this custom because this thing is really, really old. This is when I barely had any sort of skills. But yeah, there he is. Oh shit. Here he is next to my old Last Night Barricade, which is the old deluxe figure. If he wants to stand, this figure has a hard time standing, but there he is next to the old deluxe Barricade. Which this whole deluxe Barricade, it was a fun little figure to fiddle with, but it is extremely inaccurate and it's weird and chunky. And I just want to show the back real quick. I mean, I customized mine a decent amount. It looks like trash, but you can see I even put a spoiler on the back since this figure just did not have the spoiler piece for some reason. But yeah, you guys can laugh at this old Barricade custom all you want. I'm honestly fine if people laugh at it, because I mean, look how far I've come. So I mean, this is my current Barricade here. I mean, I've come a pretty long way, all things considered. But yeah, this is this was rough. But anyway, on to the slightly bigger comparisons. Here he is next to the Voyager class Last Night Megatron from the original toy line. Of course, because we don't have the TLK Studio Series Megatron yet, and I'm so excited for that reveal. But there he is next to this Megatron, and it's a pretty fair size comparison. I mean, they work with each other. It's definitely needs an update. And then next off, here we have him next to the old Nitro Zeus figure, which I also had customized a long time ago. You could tell by how kind of bad it looks. But there he is next to my Nitro Zeus custom, and it might be a fair scale. Not 100% sure. We'll have to wait till the Studio Series 1 drops. But lastly, here he is next to the basically Last Night Optimus Prime, but this is the AoE version. I'm going to be getting an upgrade kit that just turns him into the Last Night version, because I originally was going to get the Last Night Studio Series 1, but then I was like, I can't justify myself paying $70 for the same damn figure with just a different head and forearms and a slightly different paint job. I'll just make extra custom parts just to throw on this one if I want to interchange them. But yeah, there's pretty much the scale for these figures, and now it's time to get down to transformation. One thing of note before transformation, I just do want to say, I did actually, if it wants to show here, I did cut these sections out of his body right there. I did that on purpose just to, help with some of the painted areas, that way those don't scratch up or anything. So if you see this, don't worry, it is just simply a mod that I did so that way I could transform them a lot better without having to worry about chipping paints and stuff on the shoulder areas. But anyway, let's get down to that transformation.
Transformers!
And here we have the completely transformed Studio Series Last Night Barricade. Now, I'm kind of running out of time here. So it's getting a little bit long, so I'm going to try and speed this up just a little bit. But we're going to take a look at the vehicle mode details. Now, all the details that were not shown, as far as like sticker-wise and everything, you do have the but the Keep Calm and Hail Megatron stickers on the sides there. You can kind of see it right there. And got the stickers and such for the fins there. More stickers on the sides and on the front as well there. So he has all of his proper detailing now. And you got, of course, got the very nice 867 top there and everything, and a nice looking back there. I did this up here in black. And yeah, I just got the nice little slightly metallic blue that I put on. And that's what it looks like underneath. As you can see, these are the parts that I did cut out to make the transformation a little bit more smoother and better and less claustrophobic. But yeah, so just kind of moving along here with the weapon storage. You can take the taser parts and you can put it right there on the back. And then you can take the Gatling gun pieces, and they have slots for those on top. Just basically use the little slot systems for putting them in robot mode. But this time it's for vehicle mode, and there you go. You pretty much have weapon storage for that. And then these, pretty much they just go in, like on the sides like that, which is just a little bit ridiculous. But, I mean, hey, you still get weapon storage, and it still pretty much works. For my Transformers videos, I'm not doing the separate transformation videos anymore. I just don't really see much of a need to really do all that, especially since with the very limited amount of time that I do have for reviews and such currently nowadays. But yeah, so anyway, let's kind of get into the vehicle mode scaling. So just kind of go through these very quickly. Here we have him next to the old barricade. As you can see, very, 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 very big improvement here with the Studio Series as opposed to the old barricade. But you can also see the improvement in my paintwork. But yeah, that's basically him next to the old barricade. And here he is next to the current TF5 Bumblebee, which I just learned while making this video. We are getting a new TF5 Bumblebee, so I am pretty excited. This figure was pretty decent for its time, but this figure right here kicked off every other Bumblebee that has since come out now. So I will be getting a new one, but this is how he looks next to him. If you wanted to pair them up, yeah, this is a little too big, but still looks pretty nice. And of course, here he is next to 07 Barricade, which I prefer 07 Barricade definitely a lot more. I think we're due for a new Studio Series 07 Barricade, to be honest, but still a good figure. So you see that's how they look next to each other. Still, very nice. I do love these barricades. And then, of course, here he is next to Crosshairs here from last night. So you can get a look there at what he looks like and everything. And then here he is, just, next up to Mohawk. You can see. And they do look pretty nice together. I cannot wait till we get the rest of the last night Decepticons. Here he is next to Hot Rod there. See how they look next to each other? And they look pretty good. Overall, absolutely love this barricade figure. But let's do a post test.
Everyone, someday will die.
And I hope you guys enjoyed that little post test. I really do enjoy this figure. Very, very nice barricade figure here. I did also want to take the time to mention, right before I get into the final thoughts, that these are my Instagram pictures that I did for this barricade figure, and if you guys would like to follow that. And I would also like to mention that I have a girlfriend now, so I wanted to plug her stuff in because she is also doing commission work and everything as well. So here is her socials and everything, and I do actually have, of course, her business card. So this is her business card here. If you guys would want to go ahead and follow, I'll leave this up here just for a quick little second. But yeah, so if you're ever interested in any artwork or anything done by my girlfriend, she can get you guys right and get you guys good with some artwork, all custom done and everything, just like kind of how I do some of my stuff and everything. But yeah, and also her Instagram will be up here placed just in case. But anyway, let's get into the final thoughts. So as for the final thoughts on this barricade figure, I honestly, I like it. I do think the legs kind of lack a little bit, but everything else is honestly really good. I'm so happy that this character, or specific version of this character, got a new figure, because honestly, I do love his design. And this figure is actually really, really fun, and he looks a lot better, definitely with all the Toy Hacks labels and everything. But if you do get the labels, they are a bit of a pain in the ass, but they do make this figure look a whole hell of a lot better. And I love this barricade. He does have his fair share of issues, but he's still vastly a fun figure. I'm still not happy about the prices on Transformers nowadays, but I've been wanting this character for a long, long time. And I think Hasbro delivered pretty decently well. Feet could have definitely been a lot better. But anyway, that's it for this video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next.
I've heard it 1,000 times before, and it's just not that funny anymore.